everyone. So I'm back. I wanted to kind of continue where we left off last time with our envelope folio that we started. I also have some paper that I think I'm gonna use this. So we'll talk about this in a minute. So I'm just gonna set this down on the side here. And so I have a few different envelopes. And I have this strip that we cut off of here that I'm going to use as well. So I have this just a regular kind of small letter envelope. I don't even know how big this is. This is 6 and, oh my gosh, such a stupid number. 6 3/8 by 3 5/8. So there you go. Like just the most off random size. I also have, this is the envelope that I used before, which is actually a really good size. So it's 6.5 by 4 3/4. So I have a couple of those. I only pulled one, but I have a bunch more over behind me. This is just a junk mail envelope, obviously from the beautiful IRS, which we all love here in the US so much. So it is about almost 9 inches, a little bit, 9 7/8 by a little over 3 1/4. So that's that size. And then just a regular normal letter size envelope. So this is 4 1/4 by, should be like 9, a little over 9 1/4, 9 what is that, 3/8. So these are the envelopes that I pulled that we're going to use. And you can obviously use other size envelopes. We're going to have to cut some of these down because they're not going to fit, but that's okay too. But just so you kind of have a random selection of envelopes. Okay. So the first one we're going to use, I think I'm going to use this one. And I have a feeling I thought that happened. So let's see. It's a little on the damp side here. I live in northern Maine, and it's a little humid here. So I'm going to grab a couple more of these. So if you hold on for 1 second, they're right behind me. Oh, and these are actually a little bit different. Same size, the flaps just bigger. So doesn't really matter. So okay, we have a couple of those. So this one we are going to glue on to our thing here. Now, I'm not sure I like it this big. I'm pretty sure this is the one I have in the other journal. Let me look. Let me take a look. I think it's the same size. It just seems huge, but it's obviously not because it's the same. So, you know, I don't know if I want one that big on the front on this one, so I might use this one. Just as a smaller option. I kind of like that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue that on, and I'm just going to trim this piece off after I do it. So get my glue. We're going to glue all of this. I'm not really used to gluing on the camera, I will be honest with you, because I actually need to go get a new pair of glasses, and I have an appointment, but it's not until September, and because my eye doctor is like booked up the wazoo, so I'm usually holding the glue up really close to my face so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so I'm just gonna glue that on. Let's check and make sure that it looks decent on the front. You know, smooth it down so there's no, it's not sticking out too far. You don't want it like sticking out here. If it does a little bit, you can pull it in a little bit and get your bone folder and smush it down if you need to. Okay, so I'm just gonna take and chop off this little piece right here. Okay, and then I am going to make this a tuck. So I am going to, definitely trying to keep you guys in frame here. So I apologize if I pull you out of frame. Again, I live in a little tiny house, so my space is pretty limited. So I'm trying to work on this little table that I kind of set out and put away all the time. But so, and I apologize. So a couple of things. My finger looks gross, but I slammed it in the car door about a month ago, so it's healing nicely, but it's kind of gross. And I got bit by a mosquito here. I have some cuts. I got scratched by my cat, so you know, my hands are probably not the best things in the world to be filming, but you know, it's what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so there we go. So that will be our front flap there. Okay, so this will open this way. We have a tuck there, and then we have an opening here, which I'm going to keep this opening here, and then this will open this way as well. Okay. I haven't decided up here. I think, oh yeah, I did. So I closed it here, but I kept the opening here. So we have an opening in the front here too. Okay, so this is our middle, and then we have this back here. So back here, because we didn't have another flap, and I actually like this on my other one, I am going to take this and I'm going to glue this on here as a tuck spot. So the first thing I'm going to do is mark it so I can cut it. And I'm just going to cut it with scissors because that's sometimes easier for little stuff like this. Okay, and then I am going to, so you could do a couple of things. So you could leave this open if you wanted to, like this. If you wanted to glue it on this way, then you would have this one and you would have another one, but I think that's kind of a redundant thing. You could put it this way, but I'm not really sure what you would do over here. So I'm just going to glue the whole thing closed. It just makes the most sense to me. And I'm just going to glue the edge really well. Okay, so we're going to glue that. I have a wipey here somewhere. I almost always end up pretty much more gluing my table than I glue anything else. Okay. So, and then I am gonna, where the edges, I think I'm gonna glue that to the outside, and then I'm gonna glue this to the inside because I think this is good enough. If this starts to come apart a little bit, I can just glue it really easily, but I think I would rather have it be that way. So I'm going to put glue here on this edge, and on this edge, and then up. Again, I'm not very good at gluing because I'm usually holding it right in front of my face so I can see better, but I tend to come off the edge a lot, but all right. So that is our other little tuck and on this end. Okay. So Now I'm going to use this envelope. So in my other book, in this one, we have this little envelope right here. That is half of this. It's just half of this. So I'm trying to think about how I want to do this. I want to stick the other long envelope in here first. So this envelope I put in here. So obviously it's too long. So I just used this. I just measured how far I wanted it to be, like where I wanted it to come to. I don't really want it to go all the way to the bottom. And then I just marked the kind of where I was here and here. So I just kind of had a guideline, and then I just folded it and I used that as my flip. Okay, that did not look straight, did it? It folded straight. Is it straight? Let me put it on. See how straight it is. So, oh, that looks really straight. All right, good deal. Okay. So I'm just going to flip it over the page and just glue it down on the other side. That way it'll just flip up really nicely like that. Okay. I'm also going to, so the first thing I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to glue just this right here shut. So it's shut. And then I'm going to slice off this edge of it. Okay. Let's not do it on the book, Dana. It's probably a much better idea. So I hope you're all having a great day. It is Saturday here. So it is beautiful here today. It's supposed to be in the 80s. So it is quite a beautiful day, which is nice. It's been a little, it has been a little warm, or a little chilly actually. Last week it got down into the 40s, believe it or not, which was crazy. So it's been a little bit of a roller coaster recently with the weather, but I guess that's part of living in northern Maine. Okay, so I am just gonna slice off that edge. That did not like that. So we're just gonna trim it. Okay. Throw that piece away. All right, so we're gonna have our opening on this side right here. So our opening is gonna be right there. All right, so I am going to now glue this over the top like this. So we'll go like that. So I'm going to put my glue over here. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed. I really appreciate it. Like I said before, this is kind of new for me to do videos and teach this way. I haven't really done that. This kind of teaching. I've taught a lot of crafting type classes, but I've normally done them in person, in front of people. So this is kind of a whole new ball game for me. Okay. All right. So this is all going to get covered, so don't worry about it too much, because we're going to cover all this. Okay, so now that that's on, so now I can decide, how do I want this? Do I want this whole envelope to be over it? I don't think so. I think that's too much. The other one, I cut it this way, and I had to actually make a flap for it. I think what I'm going to do is cut it this way and put it on, I don't know, because I don't like how far it covers this, even if it was half. I don't think I like how far it covers it. like if I only did it half this way, it would only come in, right? So if I fold this in half, so it's only going to come in this much, right? So it's only going to cover that much. Now, we could, if we think hard about this, if we plan ahead, because sometimes you have to plan ahead. I know I said I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of crafter, but I'm wondering if I put it on like this and I actually just stitched through here, like ran one stitch through it, like an, you know, through and then back and then tied it. I could have an envelope on each side. Kind of like that idea. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. So I think I might do that. I kind of like that. So let's move this out of the way. Let me get my little, if I can find my little pokey board, my little Pearson mat. So I will tell you, I have been crafting for a very long time. I think I told you last time I've been scrapbooking. For a long time I've been scrapbooking. My son is 28, I believe. And I started crafting when he was a year old, just barely, like I not even a year old, I should say, when I went right after he was born. I started making scrapbooks. I started scrapbooking. So I have a lot of supplies that are very weird and random that probably a lot of people don't have, or that they don't even make anymore. So I'm going to be honest about that, so you're aware of that. I am just going to glue this flap down before I get started because, and I'm going to cut the edges off too before I get started because I might also... so I have a lot of like kind of random crafting supplies that you may see as I do videos that you're going to be like, oh my God, where did you get that? Oh my gosh, I got that like, you know, 20 years ago in, you know, they don't even make, like, I have a ton of stuff that's was made by a company called Seven Gypsies. I think Seven Gypsies is still out there. I don't know if they produce anything anymore. I don't know. But they were one of my favorite companies when I was scrapbooking. So I have quite a bit of their stuff. So you may see some Seven Gypsies stuff. And if you have it or you can find it, kudos. But, I don't know how much they make anymore. So I think I'm just gonna pop a couple holes in here, and then I'm gonna open this up. So this is the fly by my seat of the pants kind of scrapbooker I am. Yep. So we're gonna put it right here. So what I am gonna do is flip this back over, flip this way, or this way maybe. Let's see. Make sure that's kind of in that crease. And just poke my holes through this way. Hope you can see this. Make sure I'm all the way down in that crease. Did that work? Oh yeah, that worked well. Okay, perfect. So then I am just gonna put that on there and sew that on this way. Because I like the idea of having that kind of double pocket on either side. I think that's kind of cute. Let's see. I have a needle here. This giant gargantuan needle. I don't really know. I don't think I need 3 holes. Do you think I need 3 holes for this? I don't think so. It's just one paper and it's just going through, and don't think I probably already cut too much of this cord, this waxed thread. But let's see. So I'm going to go in here. In here. Oh, geez, I pulled the whole thing through. Almost. Shows you my sewing skills. I will tell you, I'm not much of a seamstress. I've never been much of a seamstress. My mother is the seamstress. She made all my prom dresses and that kind of thing when I was, you know, in high school. But the first thing I ever sewed was actually a V-neck shell kind of shirt, you know, just like no sleeve, you know, just like cap sleeves up at the shoulders and a V-neck in the front and in the back. You know, it's kind of the style in the 80s. And when I sewed it, I literally sewed the neck completely closed in the V. Like I just stuck it in the sewing machine, went boo, 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 sewed it like that. And then realized after I was all done that I had sewed it the entire neck closed and had to pick the whole thing apart and start over. So, you know, I mean, from there, my sewing skills just kind of went downhill, down. So, okay. So, okay. So I kind of like that. So let me put this away. All right. So we have this, that's a little loose. Let's see. I don't know if I can tighten that up any now that I tied it. I'll fix it later. Okay, so we have this. All right, and then I'm going to put another envelope actually in here. So I have this one. So again, I just folded the top over. I just glue this shut. I know watching people glue on camera is probably the most fascinating thing, isn't it? So exciting. Okay. And then I'm going to trim this side. A little too long. It's a little too long. Okay. So just enough to open that up. All right, and then we're going to fold this over the top. Find my pencil. Mark where we're going to fold it. You can see that one end did not cut very well, but that's okay. And slip this over the top. All right. So I like that. So let's glue this on. Oh, my husband is back from fishing. He went fishing. So I will probably pop off here in a minute as soon as I get this glued on, because he will come in and need to tell me all about his fishing stories. All right, so I think those are all the envelopes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause here. I'm going to ink this whole thing all the way around, all the envelopes, all the edges. I'm going to get it all inked up and probably fix this because that is way too loose. And then when I come back, we will talk about all of the papers and how we're going to cover the whole thing. So I will be back in a little bit. Okay, so I am back. I inked everything up. So here's what we have right now. So we have this pocket, this envelope here. We will cover this whole page, this whole back, so you'll see how that works. We have this side, flips open here with a tuck, and this envelope, which is open here. Nope, here. And window in it. And then we have this opening here. I don't think we have any up here. Oh, I lied. In the very front, we have one up here. All right, inside we have where our signature will go. We have this pocket right here that will flip around here. When we open it this way, we have the other side that flips around. Now, I will tell you, before I only put 2 holes in it and then tied it in here. Let me show you. And I just couldn't get it tight enough, so I ended up putting 3 in there, just so you know. So there, I did just the 3 pamphlet stitch to hold that in there. I just couldn't get it tight enough otherwise. I'm sure I could if I fiddled with it, but it was just easier. So this pocket, we have this envelope that opens here. I don't think we have, oh, I lied. We have an opening on this end. We have the tuck that we glued in, and then we open it over here. We have nothing here yet. So that is our finished cover, all glued together, obviously not finished. And I inked everything. So everything is inked. I don't think I missed anything, but I will figure that out when I start to put papers on. So the next thing I want to talk about is I am going to use this pack, which I actually got from, and I don't know, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. I think that's it. I think I'm in frame. So I got this from Mixed Media Minnesota, her monthly mixed media kits. I got the paper and all the stuff that goes with it. They came in that. So I think I'm going to use that for this journal, along with just some other papers I've copy dyed and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to show you this really quickly and just talk a little bit about it. So this is the front, and then on the back they have a bunch of embellishments to like fussy cut, which is, you guys don't know me yet, but I kind of enjoy it, but kind of don't enjoy it at the same time, I'm going to be honest. And then there's 2 of every other sheet. So this one, and then the back is this, which is a big door, which actually would fit on the covers, and it could be kind of a cool effect. So we might think about that. And then I have this, which I love, this kind of mustardy yellow and this teal together. I actually really like this. And this, which is kind of some other door shutter kind of thing. I don't know if this has a name. If you hear some weird noise over in the to the side, it is my hamburger cooking for dinner. This one's upside down. This one, and on the back is this, which I like, this kind of grunge look with the kind of netting stuff or wire mesh stuff. Here's another door, which is also kind of cool. That would be kind of cool on one of the pages somewhere, maybe. I got to think about it. So I haven't really thought about when I want to put them. This is kind of all just different things. It could be cut apart. It could, or but a lot of these elements are also on this page. So like this right here is also on here. The tickets aren't. But those could be cut apart, this film strip too. So, you know, things to think about. This one, which I also really love, beautiful, beautiful colors. Some of my favorite colors right here. And then this crackle kind of thing. I think that's cool looking. And then these on this side are all frames, which you could cut out and use. Which I like that idea, and I may do that on a few things. And then on the other side though are like journaling cards. So these would actually be okay to even just cut out and use the way they are, because you actually have journaling space in some of these places if you wanted to use them as journaling cards. So that is something to think about. Now, let me go back to the journal and talk about this again, because I want to talk about what you need. So whatever size you made this, and ours again is, I'm going to tell you, so it is 5.5 by 8.5. So 5.5 by 8.5. So think about what you want, you know, to go in the different places, but you will need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces to cover all of those flips and flaps. And that doesn't include anything else. So 12 pieces of 8.5 by 5.5 or 8.25 by 5.25 if you want to leave a little bit of a border, which I will probably do because I think that this goes really well too. Let me find that page with the yellow on it, those yellow flowers. It goes pretty well with this. So to kind of border that a little bit would be kind of, I think, okay. Especially if I'm inking these edges too. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to figure out what I want to go on all of my pages, all 12 of my pages. I will cut them out. I will probably just, what I did with the other one is I sewed all the way around them. So I sewed all around the pieces of paper, and then I glued them down. And when you do that, you can also have the option of obviously leaving some other places to put in tucks. So if this were my front cover and I wanted to put, or pockets, I guess, not tucks necessarily, but other secret places, I could leave this unglued right here and leave it as a pocket. You could leave it as a pocket here. You could leave it as a pocket here. So there are lots of other options to leave pockets in different places. Okay. So, and this one, remember, unless you're going to cover this whole thing in one piece, the same with the back one, because you've got these tuck spots right here. Unless you're going to cover this all in one piece and just cut these to fit in the two places, then you're not going to want, obviously, that whole piece. And you're going to want to, if you're sewing, and again, you don't have to sew if it's not your thing. You might want to sew around whatever piece you cut to go on there. You might want to sew all the way around that piece that goes on there, and then sew all around this piece that goes on here. So things to think about. And then you're also going to need pieces to go on the envelopes. This envelope, front and back. This envelope, this envelope, this envelope. So that's other things to think about your envelopes and where they're going. If you have any other envelopes you're going to put in, you know, that's a different thing. You can, you know, cover those or cut them, even die cut them out of paper if you want. So that's where we are right now. So I am going to go off and probably do all of this off camera. Just pick what I'm going to do, sew them, glue them on while I want them. And then we will come back and I'm going to cover all of my envelopes too. And then we will come back and we'll talk about our signature, because we're only going to put one signature in here. In the other one I have, there is only one signature, which, by the way, I have finished this one. And it will go up on Etsy pretty soon. But I only have one signature in it, as you can see, one signature. But it's gotten up pretty chunky with all the stuff that's in it. So, I mean, that's pretty, it sits really nicely, but that's where we are right there. All right. So, if you, again, have any questions or any comments about any of this, please message me on here, and I will answer your questions and we can move on. So in the next video after this, we will do our I will have all this put together, and then we will talk about our signature and what we're gonna do with that. So until then, thank you and have a great day. Take care. Bye, guys.